Hello, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. In this video, I thought I'd talk a wee bit about how we often focus on trying to change or get rid of our symptoms. Now, it's natural that we want to do that because if we have a pain or a tingling sensation or a numbness or nausea or whatever it may be, then most of these sensations would be considered to be unpleasant and we'd rather, but they weren't there and we'd rather get rid of them. And the very fact that we're doing any sort of um, work or treatment or whatever, again, is because we want to get rid of them. So if you have a pain and you take a painkiller, it's because you want to kill the pain, you want to get rid of the pain. If you've got an upset stomach, you feel nauseous, and you take something to help with that, then again, you're trying to get rid of the symptom. So one of the difficult pieces of this kind of work when people start to do it is the idea of not trying to focus on changing or getting rid of the symptom. If you've had a listen to the somatic tracking that's in one of the other episodes, you'll hear when we're doing that we're talking about noticing whatever the symptom may be with interest and with a bit of curiosity, but that we're not trying to get rid of it or change it, and that actually we're trying to observe it as if we're slightly removed from whatever the symptom may be. So we're not actually in it and reacting in that way. We're kind of a wee bit more removed from it, sort of sitting, watching what's going on, and in that sense, not trying to make it go away or lessen or whatever it may be. So that can be really challenging, I think, for people. And when they start to do different techniques to try and do some of this work, they say, but I'm doing it and nothing's changed, or why is nothing happening, or I can't not think about getting rid of it because it's very hard not to do that. And then we get into that cycle of, well, mustn't be doing it right. I'm getting it wrong. I'm doing the wrong thing. And that then leads to more frustration, which again can often actually increase your symptoms because, again, the brain perceives frustration as a sign that something's wrong, a sign that there's danger and something it has to try and keep you safe and protect you from. So sometimes it can be a good idea, excuse me, just to notice that, just to be aware that you are maybe giving yourself a hard time for not getting it right, either because the symptom isn't going away or because then you think, well, I'm not supposed to get rid of the symptom, and give yourself a hard time for forgetting that bit. So what about trying just sitting with the symptom? Because often, whatever it may be, whether it's a pain in your back, whether it's heaviness in your legs, whether it's a movement disorder that, perhaps a jerking movement or numbness in your feet or nausea or urgency or whatever it is that you're feeling, it's usually your body trying to tell you something, isn't it? It's a sign of something else, as we know, something else, something deeper that's going on. So I suppose the overall thing is to try and maybe just sit with that rather than trying to push it away, rather than trying to get rid of it. If the idea of observing it is too tricky, just sit with it. Just don't try and do anything with it. Just sit with it and just see what happens. And that's the big thing about all of this work, is just trying to be curious, I suppose, about it, trying to just not have an agenda, because it's the agenda, it's the frustration, it's the drive, it's the this has got to go, I've got to get this better, that actually ups the ante and ups the stress levels and can often keep us stuck where we are. And that's the difficult bit. So lots of people often find, well, I understand the process, I know all the theory, I've read all the books, I've worked with various therapists, but I just can't get past it. Why can I not just get past it? And it's usually because of that. It's usually because of, I have to do this, I have to get it right. It's usually because of that, and as such, that means you're coming from it from the wrong place. So it's usually, you're usually stuck because of the agenda, the sort of intention behind what you're doing. So although we all have the intention, and obviously nobody's trying to say, of course, you don't want to get out of the pain, but it's having to kind of say, well, yeah, I do want to get out of it, but if that doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen today, if that nausea stays then so be it. So be it. I'm not going to get myself in a state about it. I'm not going to push it away. If it's there, so be it. It will pass eventually, like everything does. Everything changes in some way or another with time. So it's trying to just have a wee bit more of that, okay, whatever. And it's not about resigning yourself. It's not about just saying, oh, well, that's it. There's nothing more I can do. This is me. Definitely not saying that either. But neither are we saying you're going to get anywhere if you're doing that push. I've got to go, got to get better, got to get better, got to get better. It's trying to just be a bit more in the moment, sitting with whatever the sensation is, exploring what that may be, and not looking at everything as a means to getting rid of the symptom. Because if you remember what we're saying, the symptom itself is just that. It's a symptom of something else that's going on, not a symptom of something wrong in your body. It's a symptom of the overall anxiety, the overall stress, the memory of something in the past, whatever it may be. It's a response to that. So actually just getting rid of the symptom isn't really going to solve the problem anyway. There's something much deeper to explore there. So try and just sit with it. And a lot of the work we do in somatic tracking, the very premise of somatic tracking, is trying to just improve our awareness of what's going on, what the sensations are, feel what the feelings are. And if we're constantly trying to get rid of it, then we can't feel what the feeling is, because we're so busy trying to make it go away that we're not actually noticing what it is. And we're responding with fear and anxiety and frustration rather than with interest and just noticing. So if you think about it like that, if you're constantly trying to get rid of it, then you can't really feel it. You can't really experience and therefore understand what it is that's going on. You're just trying to push it away without really trying to work out, without really trying to get to the underlying root of the issue that's there. As you say, more often than not, that will not be a physical thing in your body. It's something else that's going on. So, as I say, that's often a big challenge for people, is trying to switch that sort of mindset and trying to switch that intention behind what we're doing from one of pressure and urgency and need and frustration, got to get it right, to one of, okay, I'm going to sit with it, and what will be, and whatever happens will happen, and it will pass, and nothing lasts forever. It will change in some way. But right now I'm going to sit with it, and I'm just going to notice it, and I'm just going to feel the feeling, feel whatever it is that's coming up, feel what's there, and sit with it and let it come up rather than pushing it away. Because I say often what we do is we're trying to get rid of it. So we're taking the pill, we're going for physiotherapy, we're getting a manipulation, we're doing a massage, we're taking some lotion or potion to try and get rid of it. And actually what we need to do is not have that desire, not have that agenda, not have that pressure. What we generally need to do is actually sit with it, and just sit with it and feel that feeling in your body, feel that sensation in your back, feel that tingling in your feet, feel that nausea in your stomach. Sit with it without fear, without alarm, without reaction. Just try and sit with it and just feel what that feeling is, and see what that brings up for you. Now, it's not easy. As I say, that's also often one of the biggest challenges for people, even when they have a really good understanding of what is going on. They completely get what the process and everything is, but it's very hard to put into practice. But you can do it, and just sit gradually with it. And don't beat yourself up over it either. That's the key thing. If you're trying to sit with it and you find your mind gravitating, say, oh goodness, and so, oh no, I'm really having a hard time because I'm thinking I should be getting rid of it, and I know I shouldn't think that. Don't get into that either. Just accept whatever the thought is. It's just a thought, and I'm just bringing my attention back to where I am. Okay, so let me know if that brings anything up for you. I'd love to hear how you're getting on with it, or if it brings any more challenges for you, or if that helps at all, do let me know. Okay, so I'll leave you for now, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.